What's today? August 10th. Woo! Second half of the year, 2023. And I'm pumped about today's guest. He was a freshman at Arizona State next year and heavily featured in our latest film series called the ELO Boys. It's the original ELO boy, Emilio Ysaguirre. Emilio, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Just up early in the morning, hanging out, chilling a little bit. I mean,
Yeah. I got you up early. I know you're on the West Coast. It's going well earlier. What time do you normally rise? If there's no training in the morning.
probably like around this time,
Okay. So
maybe
not too
15 minutes later. It just depends, you know what I mean? It's never like a set one, but 7:15-ish, 6:30-ish around there.
sure. Okay. I want to talk about Arizona State. I want to talk about the Eloy boys. I guess let's just start with we may pick back up with some Eloy stuff later, but just like we're five have you seen all there's 5 episodes of 6 out right now of the Eloy boys. Have you had a chance to see any
Yeah,
or
I seen all of them. Yeah, I seen all of them so
what's your
far.
what's your reaction, right? Like, when you live something versus once you see kind of how somebody films it, portrays it, how similar or different or accurate or just maybe different is it than you thought?
Yeah, like living it for my whole life. I never really thought of it or seen it in another perspective of in the camera lens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my dad would record us and take videos of us and post them or whatever, but it was just a little different seeing like our story and like the way we do things through a different perspective, like so everybody can see. And also myself, I never realized like the things we did and how we did them until I seen the film. I just did it. So it's a different perspective and outlook when I see the videos, but I like them. I
Can
like
you
them.
can you describe? You're like, I never realized some of the things you did or how I did them till I saw it. Can you like give an example of one thing you saw where you were like, oh, that's maybe looking at it this way is different than just going through life and doing it.
Yeah, like having people come over to my house every day, like in some of the films, the earlier episodes, having people come to my house every day and eating and just all of us being together all the time, like that's just something I grew up with. I grew up with those guys and those are the people I grew up with, so there was never really like I never looked back and said, damn, I'm always with these dudes or I'm always like around them or they're always around me, you know what I mean? Into that video. And then I just realized like how much more we were around each other than what it really was, and again, like training wise, like being in the garage, it's 100 and it's crazy hot and we're training in there and I just realized like it actually is hot, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Just little things like that I realized watching the film that I never really realized when I was doing it. I just did it because I had no other choice. So
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, when did you knew what we were doing?
yeah.
When did it like sink in? Like, oh, they're making a whole thing. They're not just coming here to make like one video and leave. They're making like a whole series.
Yeah, it's I didn't really know until maybe a week before. No, I barely found out like a week before, and it was just I was actually shocked. You know what I mean? Like because we got FloWrestling, like one of probably the biggest wrestling platform in the world, coming to share our story. And what's funny is when I was at Santa Cruz, which is the high school here in Eloy, and I was like freshman and a sophomore, and there used to be some wrestlers who always watched FloWrestling, and they knew everything about Flow, right? I did too, but they would just always talk about it and this and that, you know what I mean? And some of them used to be like, damn, like FloWrestling, that's one of the top wrestling platforms in the country, in the world, and if you know that, and be your top guy or whatever. And they used to tell me all the time, and I think I used to think about that every day. I used to think about that, and now you guys came down. I heard that you guys are coming down. And I was like, man, like these were like some of my guys at Santa Cruz, were really like wanting to be in something like this, and we're making it happen right now. So it was pretty cool to like really take everything in and realize what was happening.
Sure.
Because we've all had like some other people like close to house, they want to make like a documentary on us and stuff like that. It's been pretty cool, but we never really went through it until Flo came and kind of you guys did your thing, so it was legit.
Yeah. I know I wasn't at Fargo this year, but we sent our cameraman Connor, who you guys all call Seth Gross because you think he looks like Seth Gross.
Yeah.
And he said, he's like, these guys at Fargo, like people were coming up to recognizing them, wanting to take pictures with them. Has any of that happened to you? And or how do your teammates at Arizona State react? Are they think it's cool? They bust you up, in the way that wrestlers break each other's balls?
Yeah, my dad and all them were telling me about Fargo and how they were yeah, I see you got the ELO Boys shirt on.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, well, my dad was telling me that like at Fargo and stuff, they were yeah, Izzy, they were all getting like love, you know what I mean? Talking about like them being on Flow and them seeing them and what we're doing and how we do it. And my dad gets texts every day, like, hey, can we come down to either way? Can we train? Like, we have people from all over the country talking about, can you host my kid, for a week or two? So it's pretty cool. But yeah, like my boys at Arizona State, they love it. You know what I mean? Like, they love the thing. They call me when I walk in the room, like, the ELO Boys here. You know what I mean? And they all get along with me pretty good when it comes to that. And like, I have all of them. When a new episode comes out, they'll be like, damn, bro, did you see that new episode? That shit's fire. Like, they give me all kinds of love when it comes. So it's pretty cool. Like, there's no hate. It's all love, and they watch them. So it's pretty cool.
Do you think that gives
them
a new perspective on where you come from? Because I heard about Eloy and I kind of painted a picture in my brain, of what it was like after somebody described it to me. But then going down there and experiencing it is different. Do you think it helps give them a different perspective or understanding of where you come from?
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Like watching that film and stuff, that I'm sure that like that perspective of where I come from is legit, and they realize that and they respect it. They respect where I come from. They respect what I did, so it just makes it a lot easier when you have people who truly respect you, what you did and where you come from, so yeah, and I believe that they do. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But none of them never show that, they always show me love when these videos come out and stuff. So it's been something that I enjoy watching, and I enjoy that I take in when I go everywhere. You know what I mean? Because when I do go places like wrestling wise, I do have like people come up to me and stuff like that also, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You gotta get some more of these shirts and maybe put them online and get yourself a little store, start selling them or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a contest.
We have a little link.
Okay. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Send me that. I'll help share it. So I guess transitioning to Arizona State, you're probably just about a full year in, right? It's August 10th. That's about time you probably head down. Maybe you got there a little earlier last year, but give me like 1 year in, what's your perspective and how similar or different was your first year in Tempe, living life as a college guy, going to school, training in a D1 room, kind of all those things, how similar or different was it to what you expected?
Yeah, so going into college my freshman year, like when I first moved up, I moved up in the summer. And when I moved up in the summer, like I was so anxious to get away from home. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to live on my own. I wanted to do all this. I wanted to do all that. And I did it. I was there the whole time. But after a little bit, I was kind of like, man, like it wasn't never homesick, but like, you know what I mean? Like just being like, I was in a dorm and I kind of didn't have my own space for a little bit. And, it was just like, I didn't know how to make no food. You know what I mean? I can't cook. You know what I mean? And so it was like my mom wasn't there. I hate doing laundry. You know what I mean? And like all that stuff just played a part in thing like in my at home life, you know, and it was just so much easier because my mom did all that for me. So when I had to go to uh when I had to go to school on my own, it was just I had to learn how to do all that myself. And yeah, it was like a different change, but it wasn't because I was kind of prepared in the wrestling and academic aspect, but like more so of the life aspect, like learning how to do things on my own, you know, like cooking, cleaning, laundry, stuff like that. I always knew how to do it. Every single one of those things. I just never liked to do them, you know. So it was crazy, but I mean, I got the hang of it after a little bit, and it was a lot easier for me, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, I used to go 3 weeks, use suck all my clothes down and not have no clothes, and then I'll finally wash. It was crazy. It was a
Giant
crazy
pile
experience.
clothes over the
Big
side.
old, yeah. It's have baskets just full of clothes, and then like when I go into the thing, I'd be like, I have two more pairs of underwear. Oh, one more pair of underwear, and it was just like, you know, like I'll go one more day or 2 more days, and then 1 or 2 more days came, and I'm like, damn, I don't got any underwear or any shorts or anything, so I had to wash, you know. So yeah, you know, it was different because my mom did like all the house and you know supplied me with food every day and stuff. But after a little bit, I got the hang of it. Good thing we had dining halls. We have dining halls, so it wasn't that bad. But you know, I still missed a good home cooked full meal from my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had those home. I had one of those home cooked meals, a couple of them at your house, I think,
Yeah, yeah,
with like 15 other guys lined up
yeah.
around
See
one of
that?
the plates, like cafeteria
Yeah,
style, just slop, slop, slopping it
yeah,
around. So I missed that.
yeah.
I need to come back
That
and
was
get some
for
more.
sure.
So you had the dining halls. Are you at the dining halls this year? Are you like live in an apartment or a house on your own? You got
No,
to
no,
cook.
no. So this year I'm in a house, so I kind of got my own space now. You know, I got my own room, and I mean the cooking aspect's gonna be a little tough, but I got YouTube. You know what I mean, and we got like the nutrition bar, so I'm gonna just have to make it work. I made it work my whole life, so I'm gonna have to make it work now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because in the dorm also we didn't really have like stoves or anything like that. You know, so it was kind of hard, but now we do. So I'm gonna be on YouTube making a lot of food. YouTube's gonna be my best friend for a little bit.
Hell yeah. Uh, as far as the wrestling goes, right? Like, what was did anything surprise you about college wrestling? Like you don't know exactly how it's gonna go. You have just like I said when I went down to Eli, I had an idea, but until you get there, you don't know exactly how it's gonna be. How close was that to meeting your expectations, or how different was it?
Yeah, so you know, going into college, everyone would tell me about it being super hard and this and that and that and this. And I'm not gonna lie, that preseason killed me. You know, my first year, I was that the preseason. I forgot when it started. It started like late August, early September it starts.
Uh-huh.
And you know, like we're lifting 4 times a week, running the mountain, we're running on the track, we're wrestling. So you know, there's days where on a Tuesday we have a run in the morning, we have a lift in the right after that run, and then we have a wrestling practice, you know, and then wrestling practice lift throughout the week. And then Saturday at 5 a.m. we have a mountain run, you know, and going into college, I never really lifted like that. So every day I was lifting, I was just sore, you know what I mean? I was beat up and I was just like, man, you know, and I used to say sometimes like, man, dude, like my body's getting tore down, like I'm not gonna be able to wrestle, like, you know what I mean? Like this happening. And I remember Zeke used to say, like, this is just one cycle that we're going through. Like this is just a different cycle, you know, you're gonna get stronger, you know, you're gonna build yourself. So only one cycle, and we have another cycle that you know is just gonna come to part, and it did. You know, like that next cycle came, and I felt good, felt better. Then the next cycle came, and I was just feeling good. You know, but I mean, the wrestling that aspect of it was different for sure. It was tougher because I never really did that, like lifted, you know what I mean? I haven't ran in 2 years, so going into this last year, I was like, damn. And then like the wrestling aspect, everyone used to tell me about top bottom and stuff. And I knew it was gonna be hard, like I knew I was gonna have a tough time and going with Parko every day, you know what I mean? That dude can really ride, you know what I mean? So, and me, I'm a little stubborn when it comes to something like people say something's hard, so I'm gonna try and do it. So I used to tell myself like, it ain't gonna be hard, you know what I mean? Like ain't no one gonna hold me down, but I had a real reality check sometimes, you know what I mean, in the room when I'm just like every time someone says something hard or something's impossible to do, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try to do it no matter what, and I'm gonna have a little attitude when I do it because that's just what I was raised to do. So, but there was days, actually like a lot of days in the beginning of the year where there was a lot of days in the beginning of the year where it was hard, you know what I mean? Like top bottom and I was just like damn, what I get myself into sometimes, but I stuck it out and it was just cool after that.
What advice would you give and what advice would you give an incoming freshman, somebody who's in the shoes you were in 1 year ago, right? Hey, you're first day at Arizona State or Michigan or any school across the country, right? What do you tell them to just a piece of advice like be ready for this, be prepared for this. I wish somebody would have told me this.
Yeah, like incoming freshmen, honestly, like there really isn't much to it. Like there's so much social media platforms and these kids go to these colleges all the time. They go to RTC, so they kind of know how they train and how they live. But like the biggest thing I tell incoming freshmen is when you come in, you say nothing, you put your head down and you work, you know what I mean? You make that mark at the beginning because if you're a freshman that's soft and that's just gonna try and barely get by, the upperclassmen on the team or the people on your team are gonna give you some shit, you know what I mean? And they're gonna throw you around and this and that, you know what I mean? So right away you gotta go in, make your mark, and just put your head down and work, no questions asked. I don't think there's really something like that I wish someone could have told me going into college because everything I've heard and everything people have told me going into college is reality. It was reality for me. And so I was expecting everything. I kind of knew everything. So it was good.
You said, you had these 5 a.m. runs and you're lifting every day. And you kind of said to Zeke, like, man, I don't know if you said, I don't know if I can handle this, but he said, hey, there's more coming. These are just phases, right? And what I'm getting to is the communication. And I don't think when I was a freshman in college, I don't even know if saying having the balls is right. I don't know if I would have been able to communicate to my coach that way. I'd have probably been afraid to even say like, tell him I'm uneasy or uncomfortable or not sure. And what I like that open lines of communication you have. Describe to me the type of communication you have with your coaches and the coaches have with you.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like where I come from, I mean, like Eloy, it's, I'm pretty respected, so just because of the toughness, the grit and all that other stuff that I have and that, my background comes with. So, that comes a long way with people when you talk about respect, because they respect you as a person, they respect you as a wrestler, they respect you and my coaches respect me as a wrestler on their team, and with every single one of the coaches, like I have great communication line, like there's not one that I can't go to or that I feel I can't go to and talk to, or tell them some stuff. And, just every single one from Zeke, Coach Thompson to Coach Pritz to Frank, like every single one of them I have a great communication with. And it's just, I'm glad I have that because I can go over there and tell those guys anything. And if I say we got to keep this on the low or keep this, behind doors, and they will, So they're really trustworthy, and they respect me enough to hear me out and just listen, and also give me like constructive criticism when I need it. Like they all give me constructive criticism when I need it. So, and I like that. Some people get mad about getting criticized, and sometimes you need that to grow. And I'm glad that they'll tell me how it is, and they'll keep it 100 when they need to.
We talked about, looking at this last season, right? And I think one thing you mentioned is like, obviously you had a big win against Brock Hardy, Nebraska, decided to go to Pac-12s. It doesn't quite work out, go to nationals, right? And that was the end of that year. But you mentioned taking risks. Henry Cejudo told me, man, just take a risk, just do it, right? And it didn't pan out, but like taking, and then you also mentioned that maybe you didn't take enough risks in matches or in general. So I guess the point is like, I feel like taking these risks has, even though maybe it didn't work out in the short, do you think it's better for you long run, taking more risks like that?
Yeah, because like the Pac-12, for instance, it was a risk that I had to take for myself, and I had to be selfish for myself, kind of, and sometimes, you always have that thought, like, maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe I should, but, like, not me. Like, I don't want to live with the regret of I should have did that, I could have did that, or I would have won that, so I had to do it for myself because I didn't want to put in perspective that regret that comes with not doing something like that, or not being a man to step up like that. And, it's just, if you tell me to go to war, if you tell a warrior to go to war, he's going to go to war. You know what I mean? He's not going to sit at home on a couch and watch his, friends fight it out there, so it's just kind of the perspective I put it in when I look at it, and I won't have no regret looking at it and doing it, because I went out there, I wrestled, and did it for myself, like no one else pushed me to do it. It was my choice, and that's what I did. And I stand on that decision to this day because, it's just me.
Yeah, I didn't see that match, but I've seen photos. I know you got pinned. Was it like did you shoot in and he hit? I saw the pictures I saw made it look like he hit like a high flyer or something like that.
Yeah, this kid was snapping in half ready, and he kind of threw that big move and just got it. You know what I mean? I was getting ready to get my takedown, take the lead open. I think it was like 1:30, 2 minutes left to rest and something like that. And I was getting ready to get a takedown, and he threw that high flyer and caught me with it. You know what I mean? Because if I defend that high flyer, one, he goes to his back. I major him because I cut him, take him down, and you know what I mean? So he was tired, but hey, he threw it and he got it. Props to him. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Just walk me through that if you don't mind. Just like he gets it, he gets the fall, and like what goes through your head right away,
Yeah.
Damn, crap, I'm pissed, I'm upset, I just don't know what to think.
Yeah, like I was really upset for a little bit, like a couple days. I was really upset, and I was pissed. I was mad because I was thinking to myself, like, man, I always find a way to lose these big matches, you know what I mean? Or like the match that I need to win. Like there's always something that comes to mind. And I was just mad, not at the way I wrestled, because, I really wrestled, and I believe I can major that kid, so that's what itches me if I would open up a little more that match. But yeah, I didn't really know what to think. I was upset. I was mad, but like I have a good support system. So like back home, I have uncles, tias, mom, dad, grandmas, nanas that they all talk to me and kind of lay things out and just put things in different perspective for me, as I told you, to really get over something like that. And after a little bit, I got over it. I mean, I still didn't get fully over it, because it still eats me up. And that's kind of what drives me, you know. Like come to this season, like that's what drives me. So I'm glad that happened, because now it's going to be a better version, you know, like something that's really motivating me to climb to the top.
A lot of news lately with the conferences and the shakeups and the realignments. Does that affect you at all in the way you think about things or your outlook, or is it just like, man, it's just a different opponent in front of me and whatever?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. We kind of left the Pac-12 and was hoping to get Oregon State another time. So that's kind of something that really put me. I was like, man, but it is what it is, you know. But the move to the Big 12 is I think it's pretty good. You know, the Big 10 and the Big 12 are the two biggest conferences in, you know, the NCAA. So that move really, and they know that ASU is going to come, and they know the firepower that we have. So it's just going out and doing it now, you know, like Pac-12 is nothing like the Big 12. Pac-12 is nothing like the Big 12. Hold on, bro. and I think it's just a better move for us as a team, and a better move for us as individuals to really showcase our skills. You know, Big 12 will pop some of us a better seat at NCAA. So, and I like the move because Big 12, I think, is more competitive than Pac-12, and we can really test ourselves when it comes to something like that.
Sure. I see the people of Eloy waking up in the background and getting to work.
Yep.
That's cool. Hey, but for next year, for you specifically, do you know are you going to want to start? Do you want a red shirt? What weight do you want to go? Do you know any of these things yet?
Yeah, you know, weight-wise, like, I'm not like 100% sure, probably any more to 41, or, you know, I'm not too sure. And the red shirt, I really haven't talked about a red shirt to anybody yet. So I'm not too sure if that comes into play or not. But we'll see. You know, I'm sure at the beginning of the year, we'll kind of have a little bit of a discussion, you know, and just talk about things and see where things go. Because to be honest, I want to wrestle, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to wrestle at 7 o'clock at night in a packed house, a mullet arena, and wrestle and showcase my skills in front of my family and friends, you know, especially the night duels, because they get interesting, you know, and they get packed. I remember watching them last year, and I'm like, damn, this is cool, you know. So that's something I look forward to doing, and I want to, you know. So having to wait another year would kind of be iffy for me, you know, because I really want to do that. But if it comes to play, and the talks come, and we talk about it, and I kind of feel to do that, or kind of feel that might be better for me as a person and as a wrestler, then maybe I will, you know. So just not, we don't really know too much right now, but we'll get it figured out.
Sure. Looking back at first year college wrestling, best moment and worst moment, you know, favorite moment and least favorite moment, however you want to go with that.
Like wrestling wise?
Yeah, well, it could be anything really.
To be honest, best moment is probably the win in Nebraska. Worst moment, the loss at Pac-12.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, because during the season too, I had a couple losses, dude, like that I should not have had at all, you know, and I was kind of figuring myself out and figuring it out as the time went on, you know. So and I should never lost how I lost at some of those open tournaments, but we live and we learn, you know. It's a new day, new year. Sun rises every morning, so wake up the next morning, get back to work.
I like that. The sun will rise. The sun's gonna come to mind. That's actually, I heard that phrase for the first time from my college coach. We lost to a Division II team, and he was pissed off and this and that. And then somehow he calmed down. He's like, "The sun's gonna come up tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Makes me actually feel better.
Yep. Even after the loss, like the sun always comes up the next day. You know, you're not gonna die because you lost. It's a wrestling match, not in World War II. You know what I mean? So
the world's gonna keep moving on. All right, we got one short little clip, and it's from the end of episode 5. It kind of just talks about what's gonna happen in episode 6, and it really kind of sums things up. So I want to, Tyler, when you're ready, let's play. It's only like 10 seconds long, and then I want you to kind of describe what's going on, because I think you'll understand. So whenever you're ready, Tyler, let's
that over there is like the most ELO Boys thing. It had to end like that. It just had to end like that.
What was that?
Dude, that's Izzy and my dad. They were pulling pranks on each other the whole day at Freestyle State, which I think episode 6 is gonna show that type of stuff on.
Yep.
Like the South State all day. And then Izzy, you know, Izzy's one of those persons that kind of takes it above and beyond, you know, like he has no chill or something like that. Like if you get him with something, he's gonna come back 10 times harder, and he came back 10 times harder on the mat, through the ice, chest on him, full of water and ice, and it was just a mess. The whole mat got freaking wet, and they had to stop the match and clean it off. And man, that was just crazy. There's a time and a place for that, and I think Izzy just doesn't understand that sometimes. He just any time and place that he's around, he's just gonna pop something up like that. He's crazy. That was funny. Hell,
it is crazy. He's a wild card, but
he is super wild card.
But at the end, he's from my perspective, he just wants the best for you guys and the ELO Boys, and maybe he took a prank too far, but he seems like he puts everything into giving better opportunity for you and his son and all the guys.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Like Izzy and my dad have been around and helping kids in ELO for years. You know, that they both started at Pop Warner football, which was like 7U tackle football or 8U. You know, and I was like 6, 7 years old playing that. Then went to 10U. So it's been years that my dad and Izzy have been together providing and promoting kids to do better, you know. Like we started with a group of kids when we were Mighty Mites, which was like, I was like 7 years old playing tackle football. And we stayed together throughout high school. You know, I was the only one that really didn't play football when it came to high school, you know, but we stayed together and we played, and those guys won a state championship in football. So, and then, you know, my dad and Izzy, they kind of, as time went on, they kind of took over the wrestling aspect of Eloy, and they took it over and it just blew up, you know. So that's how it's been, and it's been nothing but fun, you know. So it's always cool. It's always cool when you can grow your community, you know.
It's an awesome thing. It's a unique thing. It's a special thing that you guys got going on down there in Eloy, and I appreciate you guys letting me be part of it for a little bit. One more thing before I let you get out of here, and I kind of gave you the heads up, but we'll do a little joke time. We'll see what kind of humor you got. So whenever you're ready, let's lay a joke on us.
Let me see. What I'm gonna just keep it a little simple. Okay, let me see. What falls from the sky? What falls but doesn't need a Band-Aid?
What falls
but doesn't need a Band-Aid?
Rain? I don't know.
Yeah, it is rain, but let me give you this one. Let me give you this one. All right, that wasn't even the one I was gonna say. I was gonna say this one. What is the shortest month of the year?
February?
May, because it only has 3 letters. Got him. You got that first one, but you didn't get the second one.
You got me. Okay, that works, man. That works. May. Dang it.
Yeah.
I should have thought a little harder. I knew the answer wasn't February. That's too obvious.
That was funny.
All right, cool, man. Well, Emilio, I'll give you the final word. We're gonna let you get going and move on with your day, but anything else you want to say before we let you get out of here?
Not too much, you know. I just appreciate you guys for being able to come down and show our story and have me on these beta shows, you know, because I really like to hop on and, you know, just talk sometimes and show face a little bit, you know, because lots of people that watch this. So I know I appreciate you, Bader, and I appreciate the FloWrestling staff for taking time out today to, you know, let ELO be known worldwide, countrywide. So that's all I got to say.
All right, man. Emilio, thanks for joining us. Repping the ELO Boys.
Yeah,
And,
always.
yeah, best of luck down in Tempe, man. We'll be
You
keeping
too.
an eye on
You
it.
too, Bader. Yep.
All right. Have a good one.
Talk to you.
Yep. Bye-bye. All right, folks, that's going to do it. Emilio Ysaguirre, not Ysaguirre, which I know a lot of people say I should have had him clarify, but it's Ysaguirre. And we're excited to see him. He's got a bright future ahead of himself. And 5 of 6 ELO Boys episodes are out. Episode 6 will come out next Wednesday. We hope you guys get an opportunity to watch them. And that's going to be it for today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.